Ninth class, we are doing constitutional reforms introduced by Ayub Khan. For the formation of the new constitution, a commission was formed by Ayub Khan. The recommendations of that constitutional commission were not acceptable to the president. So he formed another constitutional committee. The recommendations of the second constitutional committee were announced on 1st March 1962 as the second constitution of the country. Now we will discuss its important features. The salient features of the constitution include: number 1, the original constitution did not contain a list of fundamental rights, but later on a list of fundamental rights was included in the constitution. This is the basic right of the citizens to enjoy their fundamental rights, and those rights will be guaranteed, will be protected by the constitution. So, on the criticism of the political leaders and on the demand of general population, the list of fundamental rights was added in the constitution through amendment. Second point is presidential system that was introduced in the country. In presidential system, there is no post of prime minister. All the powers are in the hand of president. He is the head of the state and head of the government. So all the matters related with the state or related with the government will be dealt by the president. Election to the office of the president will be for 5 years term. It means that when the president will be elected, he will remain on his seats for 5 years. And in this constitution, the BD members will have the authority to elect president. BD is the electoral college that will elect president for the term of 5 years. Next is the constitution declared the country one federation, consisted of the two provinces, that is East and West Pakistan. It means that Pakistan will be a federation. It will be a federal state. It will have two provinces, East Pakistan and West Pakistan. We have discussed it earlier in one unit that the four provinces of West Pakistan were combined and they were given the name of West Pakistan, and East Bengal was given the name of East Pakistan. Next point is both Urdu and Bengali were declared the national languages, while English was given the status of official language. First of all, it was declared by Qaid-e-Azam that only and only Urdu will be the national language. So, after the creation of Pakistan, it was announced that Urdu will be the national language of Pakistan. But on the protest of the people of East Pakistan, now Urdu and Bengali both were declared as the national language, because the people of East Pakistan, they loved their language and they wanted to implement it as their national language. They wanted to announce it as their national language. And for the official purposes, English will be used. Our next point is independence and autonomy of judiciary that was guaranteed. That is given to the judiciary because judiciary should be free from any pressure of the government department, from any pressure of any other high officials. It will not be under the control of the president, prime minister, or any other important political leader or any other important personality. So it should be free from any kind of pressure. The next point is a unicameral legislature. This is our 7th point. A unicameral legislature was provided. Legislature means law making authority, and Juni means one, Cameral means house. So one house lawmaking body was announced and it was given the name of National Assembly. It will have total members of 156, in which 6 seats were specified for the female, and from 150, half will be elected from East Pakistan and half seats were given to the West Pakistan. Our next point is elections to the office of the president as well as the members of national and provincial assemblies will be made by the electoral college of BD members. BD members or the members of basic democracies, they were given the status of electoral college, means that they have the right to elect the president, the members of National Assembly and the members of Provincial Assembly. So BD system is going to elect these persons. Through this system, indirect election system was started in the country because general population, first of all, they will elect the members of BDs from both the provinces, and after that they will have the authority to elect president, members of national and provincial assemblies. Now comes Islamic provisions of the Constitution. The Islamic provisions of the Constitution are related with those points which shows that Pakistan is an Islamic state. As first of all, the first point is that the head of the state, that is the president, he must be a Muslim. Obviously, the Muslim state must have a Muslim head because all the matters will be according to the religion, so he should have a control on all those matters. Point number 2 is it was mentioned in the constitution to enable the Muslims of Pakistan individually and collectively to accord their lives according to the teachings of Quran Majid and Sunnah. So in this point, it was declared that the government is responsible to give the opportunities to general population to live their life according to Quran and Sunnah individually and collectively. As the government has made mosques, so it is up to the people to offer their prayers individually at home or collectively in the mosque, and there are so many other examples. It was mentioned in the constitution that no law may be legislated against Quran and Sunnah. The laws which will be made in the country, those laws should be according to the teachings of Quran and Sunnah, and the existing laws shall be brought in conformity with Islam. It was mentioned in the constitution to make proper arrangements for the teachings of Quran and Sunnah. So this is the duty of the government to give the opportunities to the people that they should get the education of Quran and Sunnah. For this purpose, madrasas are there. In the second time, in the mosque, Maulvi Sahib is there to give Qurani education related to Quran and Sunnah. The next point is Pakistan shall be a welfare state where proper steps must be initiated to provide better working conditions to laborers, free medical facilities and education facilities, and ensure of bread, cloth and shelter. It means that Pakistan is a welfare state. It will look after the problems of the people and try to solve them. The better working conditions will be provided to the laborers. For the extra time, they must be given extra payment. And the free facilities for the medical and for education will be given to the people. For the shelter means houses, and for the cloth and bread, better facilities will be provided to the people. Next point is related with the social evils. The evils of riba, that is sood, adultery, that is zina, gambling, that is jua, and drink, that is sharab noshi. should be eradicated from the society. All these are the social evils. We have discussed them in 1956 Constitution, and these social evils must be eradicated, and this is the duty of the government try to eradicate them. The next point is related with the zakat, okaf and mosque. Zakat is an Islamic tax of 2.5% deduction from the annual income of rich people, and that money will be used for the welfare of the poor and needy people. Okaf, that is a department, Okaf department, that is under the control of the government, and it will look after the properties which are waqf for the charity purposes, as for madrasas, as for orphanages, as for graveyards, and it will also look after mosques and shrines. The last point is related with the relations with the Muslim states. Being a Muslim country, to promote the concept, Islamic concept of brotherhood, we will try to have friendly relations with the Muslim states. And that's all for today. Thank you.